The war in Iran may seem distant, but its impact is immediate and global. Decisions in Tehran, Washington, and Tel Aviv are already raising fuel prices, shaking economies, and risking a wider conflict. This isn't just a regional fight. It's a crisis that could pull in nations worldwide. The battleground includes vital shipping lanes, and when these are threatened, the world feels it. A missile strike in Isfahan can ripple through London's markets. A blockade in the Persian Gulf can disrupt energy in Tokyo. Millions of civilians are caught in the crossfire, their lives upended. Understanding this war is essential. It's shaping our future, not just the Middle East's. What happens next will affect us all. This war's roots stretch back decades, fueled by revolution, mistrust, and proxy battles. The 1979 Islamic Revolution turned Iran from a U.S. ally to an adversary, while Iran's rise challenged Israel directly. Years of tit-for-tat attacks on oil tankers, U.S. bases, and Iranian targets brought us to the brink. The collapse of the nuclear deal left no safety net. On February 28, 2026, the U.S. and Israel launched massive airstrikes, citing Iran's nuclear ambitions. Iran's response was immediate, unleashing missiles and activating proxies like Hezbollah. The death of Iran's supreme leader in the opening strikes has only intensified the fight for survival. Four forces drive this war. First, the fear of a nuclear-armed Iran. Israel and the U.S. see this as an existential threat. Second, a brutal contest for Middle East dominance, with Iran's influence clashing against a U.S.-Israeli-Saudi bloc. Third, proxy warfare. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis has widened the conflict. Fourth, history. Decades of animosity and distrust make diplomacy nearly impossible. Each side sees the other as an existential threat, fueling a cycle of escalation. With no trust and no off-ramps, war became the only option for some. That's why the flames keep rising. The main players are Iran, the US, and Israel. Iran, now led by Mojtaba Khamenei, fights for survival with its military and regional proxies. The US and Israel aim to dismantle Iran's nuclear program and curb its influence, using overwhelming air power. Iran's proxies, Hezbollah, Iraqi militias, and the Houthis, have opened new fronts, stretching the conflict across the region. Gulf states like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are both targets and reluctant participants, supporting the US-Israeli effort while defending their own turf. Global powers like the UK and France are scrambling to mediate, while the US urges Asian allies to help secure oil routes. The world is watching and getting drawn in. Beyond bombs and missiles, this war is fought in cyberspace and on the world's shipping lanes. Cyber attacks target power grids, banks, and military systems, threatening chaos far from the battlefield. The Strait of Hormuz, a vital oil choke point, is nearly blockaded. Global energy markets are on edge. Drones and precision missiles dominate, making strikes faster and escalation riskier. Information warfare is fierce. Every side uses media to sway opinion and justify actions. Iran casts itself as a victim. The US and Israel claim they're preventing catastrophe. Viral images of civilian suffering fuel outrage and complicate diplomacy. In this war, perception is as powerful as any weapon. The battlefield is everywhere. The human cost is staggering. Thousands dead, millions displaced in Iran and Lebanon. Cities are shattered, families uprooted, and fear is constant. In Israel, missile attacks have closed schools and sent families to shelters. The economic shock is global. Oil prices have soared, hitting wallets everywhere. The International Energy Agency's emergency oil release is only a temporary fix. US military casualties are mounting, and embassies are evacuating citizens. The war's reach extends far beyond the battlefield, inflicting hardship on millions with no stake in the fight. This is not just a regional tragedy. It's a global crisis. The world is paying the price. The world faces three possible futures. Escalation could draw in more countries, risking a regional or even global war. Diplomats are pushing for a ceasefire, but the sides remain far apart. A grinding stalemate is likely. Endless low-level conflict, humanitarian crises, and economic disruption. The choices made now will shape the world for years. The Iran war is a lesson in how distrust and ambition can spark catastrophe. its consequences are global, touching security, economies, and lives everywhere. The quest for peace is urgent, and its outcome will define our future.